can come and talk football.
Yeah.
Can't be monopolized.
But the other thing that I did that I loved, and then as a principal, I did it, we just, so I set tables up in the gym,
Yeah.
and then all the teachers were in there, so parents could just go from
You
there.
know,
Yeah, so.
Right. Yeah. So you're doing that?
No, I like to hear the teachers. No. Like, yeah,
They want to be able to hire.
that's how we get lost. Hi, guys.
Mr. Baker, can I get you to run off 5 copies of this one?
Nope.
Nope.
I can go find somebody to do it. Yeah. How many?
Just 5 or so?
Five.
Yeah. So they can do it. Well, actually 4. No, 3. Only 3.
I'll make 5.
Because we already have one, so it's
I
just
don't
3.
have one.
Well, you don't have, it's 4.
Better make one extra. It's a piece of
Somewhere between 1 and 10.
You clearly didn't go to DRHS for math.
Now, if it was business hours and Connie was here, I could say absolutely be done in just a second.
I already know, does my code work down here?
No.
Oh, well.
And if that's the case,
I could probably do it. Is there one in, where is it?
just straight in there. Factor things going on.
I love it. Good time. Hello. Hi.
Does anybody need a packet? I have a couple of extra. So she's got it covered.
There are no changes.
No,
You have,
nope.
Present.
You have those? Nope. You have photocopy?
actually, let's do this. Go to K-12 Dynasty Enterprise.
Yes, sir.
Say it in town.
We're gonna find out.
Chair, did I answer your questions clearly? I think so. I think I would have responded. Okay, just double. Maybe I reject myself. Yes, you did. Okay.
This thing I'm handing out is just the handout that we got from Tom, so it's his office. Did you play any?
It's gonna get copies of that.
Just give it for us. Bill, you have a copy, correct?
Yeah, we're good. No problem. I'm good.
Thank you.
Yeah? Did you write it down?
I have it.
Okay.
Have it saved.
Ella, are you plugged in over here?
No. Did you wonder
You're
why I
welcome.
wasn't responding to you?
What? It won't take us long to get to you, so if you want to test it out right now, you certainly can.
Oh, yes. Maybe I need. Fine.
Your son is?
What's going on?
Your son is?
Yeah, so we have them. Well, for.
Mr. Crum, do you have anything with HDMI on the Chromebooks?
I don't know. It's just the way we do it, right?
Yeah.
You will not sort of- Yes.
That's not. Yeah, the ball.
Well, obviously she can be fine too, but
Yeah, we've been passing the crap around. And it seems to linger, and it's just enough for people to be slightly cranky. January was a long time. But. Never know.
It's too tough. He's got the credit.
But.
He was really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he should be.
how are the roads out there, Mr. Wyland?
I don't know. Not 100%. Depends on what can't.
We can't fake it.
I was asking.
It'll be 18 years if I do it.
Impressive.
Is it?
Is it?
A lot of self-hate, I guess.
Well, we got.
Well, that's not very
Till Hartford
encouraging.
gets-
I also have to make a decision.
Yeah, well, after 15 years, I mean, my youngest is a junior, so, you know, still got a couple years left. I'm not against people being on the school board that have no kids in school either. I mean, you know, it's all part of the civic duty, but even though our kids don't know what civics is.
You're gonna learn.
Gonna make them
I know. I just saw that first one, it's like, what? Are you serious?
That was an actual class that I
She's gonna talk about this.
Well, I have 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the meeting held in January.
No changes.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the meeting January 2nd. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Persons wishing to address the school board who are not on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on to approval of the agenda. And I assume there's no changes.
Nope.
So now
All
we
good.
just need a motion to approve the agenda. Got a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item, are there any new conflict of interest disclosures?
Nope. Not.
Okay, seeing none. The next agenda item is presentation to the board.
Told Ella we'd let her go before we get into the bulk of it, just in case she had.
Sure.
So,
Just want to get my big fat head up here.
Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Ella Johnson, I'm a junior at DRHS High School. I'm here to bring awareness to the board regarding civic education in our school and share what I've discovered. I've written a majority of my presentation down because I think I'm going on to take it because I can talk about this for like hours. You've said as a board, you feel it is your responsibility to prepare students for their lives after high school. Regardless of what they decide to pursue after high school, every student is a U.S. citizen, which means one of the school's most important responsibilities is to teach and make sure students understand their rights and duties as citizens. I'm going to share my experience as a student and how I have grown to become more citizen engaged. Last year, I had an opening in my schedule and was essentially thrown into a civics class to fill it without having much interest in civics at all. The entire class was about 14 students. The majority of them were in a similar situation as me. Even though I was not excited about the class in the beginning, Mr. Frizzell was able to make the class very engaging, which sparked my interest. Along with learning about our local government, we also got to learn about bills and legislation that directly affected us. Furthermore, we got to have conversations about several relevant topics and learn about how to voice our opinions respectfully while working with others to find common ground. Although not everyone came out of the class with my level of interest, everyone had a better understanding of their rights and duties as citizens and the knowledge that they can enact change. I'm one of 14 students who took this class. Within a year, I have learned so much about civics, and I have been given incredible opportunities, such as running the PC, meeting several young people from around the country with different backgrounds than me, and having gotten to have conversations with many incredible people like Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Imagine if this class was taught on a wider scope, many more students would find a passion in civics, and all students would be able to become more well-rounded citizens. Near the end of the year, I was approached by Mr. Frizzell with the opportunity to apply for an Equity in Civics Education Fellowship. By early June, I found out I was accepted into the fellowship, which consists of 34 students from around the country. As a cohort, we meet bi-weekly to have discussions and present projects with our goal of becoming more civically engaged and bringing things we have learned back into our communities to make change. Through this fellowship, I've gotten to learn about other communities. Some communities are very similar to our own, where the state does not require a civics course included as their school. And oftentimes, with these communities such as our own, there are fewer opportunities, clubs, and activities for youth to become more civically involved and speak out. Contrasting with states such as Maryland, which require a 4-year civics course for their students, have many opportunities for their students and then to have more civically engaged adults. For the fellowship, we are all required to create a public service announcement about our communities to share with the cohort. And while putting this together, I created a survey about civic education for the students to fill out. I got about half of the student body's responses, and after reviewing the results of the survey, I felt more inclined than ever to speak out about the state of civic education in our school and bring attention to this topic. So I did the survey, it was grades 9 and 12. So I started out by asking how many what civics was, and only about 50% said they knew what it was, which I feel is kind of concerning. After I asked the question, I defined it for them so they could better answer most of the questions from the survey. Only 8% of our students feel as though they're prepared to fulfill their civic duties after high school. And this includes the seniors, who some of them are 18 and really in the last election. So, I mean, I feel like that scares me because that's that's your main job as citizens to fulfill your civic duties. And if none of our students feel confident to do that, that's an issue. This is just a stat about community, like how easily we take out as well, and I thought this was actually pretty good. I mean, 41% answered that it was like somewhat difficult, but almost 30% answered that it's fairly easy, so I feel like that's speaking pretty highly of our community, at least that they feel they can make involved. After learning, like what civics was after, I just like gave them a little snippet. I asked how important they believe civic education is to learn about in school, and like 44% said it's really important, and 41% actually said they believe it was highly important, and 7% believe it was most important. So less than 10% believe that it was less really important. And then the last thing that I asked was what my favorite government were, and I only got 38 correct responses. It was pretty, like, honestly, just looking at some of the answers, it was kind of crazy. I got a lot of, like, Parliament. I got really crazy answers. Some of them were not at all close. These are students that have taken US history. These are students that are in the classes. These are students that have taught US history in 8th grade. They're freshmen that just got out of 8th grade. And they can't name the two members of government. So that's all I have for the survey. But after presenting this and listening to others' presentations in my group, I decided to set up a meeting with our mayor to get a better insight into the state of civic engagement with adults in our community. Mayor earlier was able to tell me that many adults were not involved in local government, and that in the past 3 years, we saw only one person has came to the city council meeting to speak. Many people in the community have issues that they would like to speak about, which they often go about by posting on Facebook, but do not know how to effectively make a difference. After having this conversation, I felt that the majority of adults in this community directly correlated with the survey that I took with students. And drew the conclusion that there's a lack of knowledge and understanding of our rights in government that leads people to shy away from becoming involved in our government. Although some elected officials may feel that if they are not getting that feedback directly to them, it means everything is going wrong, this also is a direct result of citizens and students not knowing how to go about making a change. Luckily, our city council and mayor have realized this and have created a citizen information academy to teach citizens about our local government and civic engagement. I think that it's time for us to make this change as well and start not only teaching, but encouraging our students to speak up and make a difference. In closing, I urge the board to have conversations about civic education in our school to produce more civically engaged minds. I want to leave you with a story from about a week ago that made me smile. I was walking in the hallways at the end of the day, like leaving school, and I heard a student talking to a friend about how crazy it was that there was a proposed bill that the 10 Commandments would have to be displayed and taught in public schools in South Dakota, and how they learned about it in their civics class. I was very excited that another student was taking an interest in civics, and how interested they were in the bill. This made me think of the impact we would make if all students took the civics course, and how many conversations similar to this one I would be able to overcome.
Are you taking any questions?
Yeah, I can.
You guys have any questions for Ella?
First of all, I just want to commend you for taking an interest and doing all these things, the fellowship and going to DC. That's really impressive, and I'd like to see that kind of engagement in our students and coming to speak before the board, because it can be a very scary thing. So thank you for coming and presenting this information. I would love if you could print out a copy of your presentation or email it to me. I'd like to have your information to refer back to.
The question I would have for you, as far as you see Jason Virgil about the last is your interest in this topic more just on your own, or was it because of the way you presented the information and your applications with it?
I think it was definitely a huge like part of it. It's like going to the class, I was really interested in it at all. I know he gave us opportunities in the class. We got to go to a conference and meet Mr. Johnson and speak. It was very engaging. Like we got to have conversations with one another and like everything. So I really appreciated that. And one of my favorite things was like listening to debate at the Senate and the House, because a lot of the bills that one of them wanted to listen to was the ACT, how it's going to be required now for all juniors to take in some state testing. We listened to the debate on that bill, and I feel like that's interesting because it doesn't affect it affects us, like not my class, I guess, so like the younger kids, it affected them, like what they would have to do in high school even. So I feel like that's what kind of got me interested in it, and then after that, I decided to jump off.
The other question I was going to ask was during the time you were with Mr. Virgil in that class, did he at any point say, man, I wish I could have done this with you, and he wasn't able to, or like he didn't have a certain resource that he was missing?
I don't think so.
That's what you're supposed to say. Yes, he wanted to fly us to Hawaii.
DC.
She got to go to DC.
Yeah, she had.
It's very cool to see passion.
Yeah.
So I think we can all infer from the presentation. But do you have an ask and state of desire that you want to let us?
I would love if eventually we could get to like a spot where civics was a required class, possibly for freshmen who would get exams or study requirement, which is kind of like obviously things like you might not like staff, but at least try to work towards that for a goal. I just think it's really important. So
When did you start civics?
last year I took it second semester, so in the spring, and then, yeah, this year I've been in that motion.
So you wish you could start it.
Yeah, for sure.
You considered in the meantime starting a civics club?
So I've been trying to get a debate club started in school, but that has not gone very well. None of the teachers are very available to that, so I've been trying since before winter or like Christmas break, quite a bit before that, 2 months before that, probably around November. So I've been kind of trying.
Should have come to my office and helped me talk about cell phones. That would have been plenty of debate.
But, yeah, so, I don't know, maybe, and sort of civics club, but, I don't know, I've got more interest in debate, I know I have students that are interested in doing it. I mean, civics, like, I feel like, you know, if you get interest, so I was like, thinking about starting that, kind of like incorporated thing, but, yeah, a lot of the teachers just don't have time. I like pretty much approached every teacher in the school and been shut down. So, and I know someone else sent out like an email to all high school staff and know that. Except for Ms. Mitchell, which is busy. So.
Is it required for a teacher to be advisor for a club, or do you have a community member that has it? So it might be an avenue, yeah, to reach out and see if there's anybody in the community that would be willing to volunteer.
All right, we'll let you off the hook. Good job. Well done.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
I would have, do you want to add just kind of the changes have done for the
Yeah.
district so far financially?
Yeah, so last month we talked about combining some of the bank accounts, and I worked with First Interstate Bank, Nick up at First Interstate Bank, and we were able to merge the savings accounts, still remaining in compliance by keeping the funds separate in our accounting system. And instead of making around $5,000 a month in interest, we were able to make $20,000 in a month. So if that can be ongoing and spread across the funds, I think that can be a really positive thing for our financial situation, so.
Yep, slow down.
Share that.
No, you're so, I'm sorry. Yeah, some big bills we're paying here, so.
We did work on hiring the interest as well that we were making, just the interest rate itself, but then combining them all into one account, certainly helped that, so, yeah. So I want to share that.
Stay tuned, a few more financial changes.
Yes, there's more coming.
From where?
More changes I want to make that. Some more positives.
You gotta make it your own.
Yes, yes.
Good job.
I was just in 30 days.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't a full month, so that was just a partial month. I think we got it changed on the 10th last month, so I'm excited to see what a full month will look like. What that will bring in for you, so. And after a good tax month, that would be nice too.
Just out of curiosity, interest derived from funds, does it then have to be divvied out in the individual
Yeah,
funds?
yep, so they're proportioned, they're based on the average beginning and ending balances each month of each fund. Then I divvy the interest into those based on the weighted averages. Yep.
Awesome, nice work.
That's all right.
If there's any other questions on the consent agenda, otherwise I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second. Okay, we've got a motion to approve and second the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next agenda item is old business. First item in old business is the land.
Yeah, so I think we'll be able to take this off the list tonight, but I sent you guys a text message after that happened. I was kind of watching the end flurry at the same time I was watching show choir, and it just went like crazy for the last 25 minutes or so. But it ended up $72,000 is where that sold. Yeah, so that's a good chunk of change for the school district. Signed off on all the contracts. We closed like March. If you wanted to go March 7th, but they might want to go a little quicker than that. So I said it's fine with us. Anyway, so that was good.
So do we pay commission on?
Yeah, it's all at closing.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact percentage. I don't think it's yeah. It's not a big chunk.
Okay. So we don't have any.
Nope,
action on that.
just give a little bit of information there.
Okay, the next agenda item is the roof HVAC project. Unless there's questions on
Yeah. Fire away if there are. So roof and HVAC, so where we're at with that is, got a contract back from them, which we signed and we're ready to go moving forward. They're getting all their logistics lined up. Johnson Controls and the roofing company are working together, so they're talking, and right now it's just kind of static. I'll just wait until they give us more information. They'll start moving forward here. I'd imagine in May they want to try to get in. They'll try staging probably the end of April. We are going to make our first down payment. We have to make our first half of the down payment on the HVAC unit, not the whole project, but just the HVAC unit. We'll be doing that this month. So you'll see that coming in claims next time.
It was in this month.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So it was
That was that.
393.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving forward on that. Oh, at some point, will they present like, I'm used to big hospital projects, they would present like a detail, like, on this week we're doing this. Yeah, we should get a plan that shows what their progress is gonna look like. Okay. I hope it's,
They haven't given that to us yet.
so that will be something that will.
Yep, I'll share it with all.
Great.
The whatever the timeline is.
Okay, the next agenda item is the strategic planning update.
Yeah, I'll let, my two committee members take the lead.
I'll give you a copy of the printout that Tom Roster from Dakota Consulting gave us. The short version was that he was pretty effusive in the praise of the survey and said he's never had a survey with a better, more positive input, which is a double-edged sword. It's not, we're doing everything great, so what are we doing wrong? But no, so he talked in very broad terms about 4 areas of goal setting for discussion going into the group meetings that will happen later in the year. Those are those 4 bullet points at the top. So these are the things that came out of the survey as are taking priority and attention for strategic planning in that ways. Internally for professional development and personal development, public relations. He specified it's more about making sure that internally, teachers and staff know what great things the other teachers and staff are doing, and then externally making sure that we're telling our story well within the community. It's not that there aren't awesome things happening, there are just indications in the survey that people are not aware of things that are doing. So, not surprisingly, I don't think anybody's school facilities and funding came up, and along the lines that we've spoken about before. What that looks like specifically is something that we'll bear out in the group meetings. And then the last one, which was kind of surprising me, but parents and students both kind of, I guess, requested, like you put it, some additional academic offerings, like their presentation, they kind of bears out that the common theme among students and parents. The following lines after the bullet points there are just a kind of broad outline of the process going forward. So Dakota Consulting is going to take these 4 bullet points and they're going to kind of draft some goals, some smart goals for us, which we'll have a chance to address and edit, and then they'll be used as a framework for the discussions. And we'll be kind of living goal statements until we codify them in the process. Looks like the board is looking to do the first group meeting, the internal meetings of teachers and staff, on or about the 26th of this month, and then TBD on public meetings. We'll put that together as opposed to a strategic planning committee and kind of figure out how we want to do that. But one drives the other. So we'll probably pin a date to the calendar. I guess it's sometime in March or whatever, but we'll, once we get the internal group meeting, we'll stick that to the wall and work towards getting maximum community participation. All working towards the goal of having a crimson strategic plan from Dakota Consulting in our hands by the end of the school year. And this,
No, it's good.
yes.
Did you say at one point, a little ways back, that you're gonna want 1 or 2 board members at the staff session?
Yeah, so he suggested that these 2 come for the internal one,
Okay.
and then 2 different board members come for the external meeting. So we haven't set that yet, but I'll let you 3 fight it out on which 2 of you want to go. but we'll set that date later, it'll be in March somewhere. So he'll take the information from the internal focus group, put that stuff together, and then meet with the external focus group and have 2 more board members there.
I would say if one of you guys is more interested in giving that stuff along, I'm happy to go with you.
Actually, it's a great point. It doesn't matter what the makeup really is, we can decide
If you
whatever.
want to go, then you go, by all means.
So that's Wednesday the 26th. And then we'll set a date for the other one after that.
And then, Karen and I have not seen the raw compilation of the surveys yet. Dr. Borson put that out to all of us, so we'll have that information. It isn't a secret, but hold on to it until after we've done the group meetings, because right now it's a lot of data out of context. But
Yeah, I think it's just important for Tom to be able to add context to the information at these focus groups. So when I email them out to you, just keep it to yourselves for now, and then that stuff will come out as we move forward into the action plan.
One thing specifically that was mentioned multiple times in that academic curricular offerings was life skills. So that seems to be of a lot of interest. So I'm just going to have that in your head when you're thinking along those lines. As one of those options, it sounds like civics is also one.
Those are life skills. For sure.
Might need to be added.
Any questions from you guys as far as timelines? All right.
And they're done that. So, I guess if there are no questions, we'll move on to new business. And the first agenda item in new business is school board recognition week.
Special recognition to you guys as board members. It is your week next week, school board's week, for February 17th to the 21st. Have a little certificate there for you, so you can hang that on the mirror of your bedroom. So you can see that every single day. But all those out there, maybe if you're watching them, you guys just make sure you shake the hand of these guys and tell them thank you, because it's a job that not a lot of people want, and they're here tonight doing this for us. So well done. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, yeah, and thank you guys for stepping up to be on the school board. You're all new this year, so hopefully it's not too tragic for you guys. So.
you gotta do it. All of them.
I guess with that, the next agenda item is approve the district school calendar.
Yeah. So I did meet with DREA and some other teacher members, and also with Mr. Weiland and Ms. Kafer there. We met with the teacher group to look at this. We gave 2 options. Essentially, option 1 started August 11th and ended a week earlier, May 14th. This option was August 18th and ended the 21st of May. If you remember this, kind of the similar thing last year, we took the earlier date. It's only 1 day earlier than we started this year, but it seemed like, for whatever reason, a lot earlier than that. So the consensus was the 18th to start. The rest of it kind of builds itself there as far as holidays are concerned, and getting in some things that some parts of the DREA would they appreciate with 4-day work. Like if we have Monday off, can we work out a Friday off? Christmas break you'll see is a little bit longer. One thing that was a consensus early when we had scheduled before was getting done at semester time. It's not quite as imperative now. It seems to be the top priority, so starting a little later didn't hinder that. So yeah, so that's kind of it right there. Angie or Matt, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, the longer Thanksgiving break was another one that they really liked. But that goes back to if you're trying to end semester time at Christmas time, all these breaks before Christmas really kind of start taking away your number of days before Christmas. And once you kick that after Christmas, it opens up the calendar to more options and, you know, things that I think the staff really appreciates. And, you know, so it's kind of a trade-off.
And we kind of felt weather-wise too,
Yeah.
having that extra week in the summer before the kids go back. And they're coming, and then maybe go out, you know, but it's kind of a whole week this summer, that's what we get extra time. And so just a few different things, it sounded like the teacher group was pretty like split down the middle, and nobody had really strong feelings on it. Is essentially what I was saying, so.
So the semester's gonna have, and after.
After Christmas, yeah, it's
Be the
like a
ninth.
week after.
The 9th of January.
Yeah, the ninth. And like one of the teachers had mentioned, they actually like it after Christmas because then they can come back, do some review, do some testing, and then it's not like they have to hurry up, get done with the quarter semester before Christmas, change their classroom around, and then basically start right after Christmas. This way it gives them that week to basically transition into the next. And I mean, I think there is some validity to that. And like the board said, I mean, the biggest thing is we're not on block schedule anymore. So it's not like we're changing semester, not like the semester means that much. We're not shipping around 2 minute classes, you know, a lot of them are skinnies the whole year basically. So, I mean, that's just a quarterly test. So, yeah, it's one of those things, to Andy's point, I mean, the teachers are fairly split. Obviously, the elementary school teachers like the later start, the high school teachers like the earlier start, but in the middle school is about 50-50. So, I mean, it's just kind of, but to that point, nobody really had a strong opinion in that later versus earlier. So I think they decided on later. So, yeah. Do a little calendar.
And the other calendar did not have such a large break over Thanksgiving.
No, same, yep.
But then your days, the number of days in the semester were.
Yeah, semester got over at Christmas time, started there right after January, we were just done on the 14th of May versus the 21st.
So if there's any other questions, otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve the calendar.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the calendar for 25-26. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next agenda item is DRHS request for,
Yeah, so essentially what we're doing here is we're just recognizing Dell Rapids Educational Association as the bargaining group for the district when it comes up to negotiations. We just need to, just a motion to accept them as the group that we'll negotiate with.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Motion's been made and seconded to recognize the REA. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next agenda item is the superintendent report.
Okay, so just want to run down a few bills for you today. The 10th Commandment bill was defeated in House floor today. There's always a chance that there could be smoked out or hog house, but this thing has went through, had an amendment on it where it amended it to just posting it in, just like we did the Ingotten Trust sign. But still the curriculum pieces were tied to it, so I'm not sure if that had enough there. I think it was close. It was like 37, 32 or something in that regard. But so it could always come back, but I think it's had its day for this year, but we'll see. A couple of other things just to give you a heads up, like I'll just say the bill numbers, and if you want to write them down, great. HB 1035 is the 10 million in one-time money. That's for safety enhancement grants. That's been sent to joint approach, so it really comes down to anything that's sent to appropriations, they may say yay or nay to it. A lot of times they say nay, especially in a year like this year, whether they're pretty lean, but, we'll see how that kind of shakes out. Just giving you some high priority bills here. HB 1040 was sent to approach with the do not pass. That's dual credit, so essentially sending more money on the families to pay for half of dual credit versus I think essentially it was like a third. So it'll be interesting how that goes. 1041 is the state library. That was sent do not pass to joint approach. That was a $1.3 million cut. So we'll see what appropriations say about that.
You said 1040.
1041. 1040 was the dual credit.
But there was also a recommended as a not pass.
Yep. So all the cuts that they're trying to make, they're trying to bring them back, but it's easy to say. See how the money's there. Couple of interesting ones. HB 1048, I say this because 1048 was a required cash to be accepted at schools. That was essentially for one school. It was killed in Commerce and Energy, but there has been one resurrected in the Senate. So that's Senate Bill. Not sure where it is here. See if I get to it. But anyway, there is one in the Senate that's been resurrected that says the same thing. It was already killed in the Senate committee once, so we don't think that's going to go. But we take cash, so cash is king.
What is it? So it's just Sioux Falls that doesn't take cash?
Basically,
Okay. I thought there were some others.
no, that's just them.
Yeah, that is crazy though.
Yeah.
I went to,
And I don't think that's entirely true. There's been instances where they haven't accepted cash if they needed to, but I won't get into all that stuff. But yeah, so that's the one thing. 1093, this is something big for us, requires that school boards to hold a bond election at the primary or general election. It died 34-34, but then was reconsidered and passed 44-23. So basically what that's saying is if we ever want a bond, you have to hold the bond election at the same exact time that there's a general election. So the primaries are Super Tuesday in November. On the odd years, then you have to do it on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in June, or the first Monday after the first Tuesday in November. Which really puts you in a little bit of a pickle if you're a school district, if you're trying to get the best rates, or if you fail one and you want to go after it within, I think it's 53 days or whatever it is. The premise behind it is to get more people to vote. But if you take a look at the voting numbers, they're really not that much more of those as the other ones. So we're clearly opposed to that because I think it puts you in a situation where you might not, it could cost you money. It could cost us money in the long run, but we'll see how that goes.
So currently, if we were to do it, you're saying we could do it every 55 days?
I think it's 53 days or 52 days. I can't remember exactly what it is. There's a time in between that you have to have, and it has to be done on Tuesday. But you can do it whenever, we can set it. So if our best rates are in April, we can do it in April. So, I think that's kind of a tricky deal. HB 1105 is state motto in all classrooms, another one of those things. That'll be on the floor on Tuesday. There's a bunch of tax bills out there. HB 119 is a tax bill, 1138 is a tax bill. What we're hearing on the tax bill side is Governor Rogan's he's confident and pretty good at the property tax side. He's looking for some type of, they want to do some property tax relief, but he's looking for something to get rid of all of these bills and come with one that makes sense. And I don't know if this will be a task force or how they'll do that, but I mean, there's probably 12 to 15 tax bills on the House and Senate side, so I won't bore you with all that stuff. Couple of school curriculum ones, which we're totally against because that's local control. They were heard today. I'm not sure how that went because we were in our meeting, so I'm not sure how that ended up. 1185 is you can't use public money for lobbyists, so they don't like our lobbyists. So that means SASD, SDSSA, ASPSD we can't pay for them to lobby for bills there. That's happened a bunch. Yeah, so that's kind of the House side. Senate 51 is the 10 Commandments. Like I said, that failed today. 55 is a tax levy bill, 85 is a tax levy bill, 121 is the property tax, 141 is property tax. 161, which you guys will love, maximum school administrative pay 3 times the average. That died, so you're in trouble there, I guess. Voucher bill. Yeah, right. There was one voucher bill coming back, that's SB 190. It's a voucher bill using property tax credit. Essentially what it's saying is, if you want to earmark your property tax to go to somebody's scholarship or tuition, then you can do that. So in a roundabout way, it was a voucher, but it's also similar to the Partners in Education, that real estate tax relief deal. It hasn't been calendared yet, so I'm not sure where it's at on that, but it doesn't sound like it has a lot of legs. Sounds like most of the voucher things are not a lot of appetite for them right now. Oh, and then Senate Bill 219 is the mere cash at school events bill. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at legislatively.
Where are they sitting at for post-funding?
1.25. Haven't even really talked about it yet, but all we're hearing is most likely that's what it's going to be. Yep. Now that could depend on, the appropriators. If they say, hey, we're not going to give 10 million to security enhancement grants, we're going to give this all schools, or
It might bump us up to
1.73. Yeah. So we'll see what it kind of all comes down to that.
And it's looking like all the voucher bills are gonna.
Yep, this one is about the only one back. They really don't think they have the votes to calendar it on the House side. They think they have 43, 44 people that just don't have that type of voucher right now, but that's just what we're hearing. I guess if it was changed, but seems like they're kind of gone for now.
If you're passionate about it, John Hanson sponsored at least one of those. So in district,
Speaker of the House.
might be, we're talking to people passionate about it.
Or you just will watch
Yeah.
Civics in action?
Civics in action. Just a couple of more, just for your guys' information, I will be meeting, Kim and I will be meeting with our department heads to have their budget meetings here in the next week or two. After that, I'll be setting up a meeting with our budget committees for the board side. And then March will be strategic planning committees, external focus, and then also negotiations. So I'll get those on the calendar as soon as I can, get you guys some sort of a timeline. Just have to get through our legislative session so we know exactly where we're at there, what we're going to do insurance-wise. We have an insurance proposal we want to kind of share with you guys too. So there's a few things we're just going to get through our internal budget meetings, and then we'll get you guys on the calendar for the big budget piece.
Do you have days of the week that you typically try to do this moving around?
We're open, whatever's easiest for you.
Would it be beneficial if we need for work travel, to do something to you ahead of time?
That would be fantastic, yeah, if you could. And we'll try to work with you guys. Who is my budget? Is it you two? And then your negotiation. Yeah, so just, if you can send me some available dates and times. And if it doesn't work for you to be in the day, we could meet in the evening sometime. Yeah. I know it works for you in the day sometime.
Yeah, who's alternate?
I don't think we have an alternate.
But we
Yeah, I
can,
should have paid attention on
we can, I would think we can just.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll try to work with you.
It's a new board, so I mean, things change, so, but yeah, there's nothing that has to be.
No.
set.
And she doesn't really, you'll start really putting together end of April, May. You don't have to even approve it until.
Yeah, your May preliminary budget can be very far off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not set in stone.
So we can find a date to
Yeah.
work around.
But on the other hand, it's nice to have the budget kind of somewhat
For us,
known
yeah.
before we start going into negotiations, because otherwise you don't know how much money we have.
Right, right.
So, it doesn't have to be finalized, but it has, you have to have a general idea of it.
Right.
So,
So if you guys just want to send me some dates, we'll get you on, we'll figure it out.
well, and it's one of those things, I mean, you know, Kim's doing the heavy lifting, you guys are more or less just the oversight, so.
And Dr. DeBoer.
You don't have to crunch your numbers, Kim will.
Just a couple updates too. We have met with the PTO to talk about their outdoor classroom plans, so we're kind of working in that realm. I think they got a little bigger quote back than what they anticipated, so I think they're trying to find some other stuff, really cool designs. But we have been talking with them. Booster Club too. Booster Club, we've been talking, they have new leadership coming, and we talked a little bit about new advertisement that they're gonna put in the gym. That contract's been up, so we've been meeting with them. And, yeah, that's kind of it on my side. Any questions?
For the
As always,
outdoor classroom, what is the PTO looking at?
where is it?
No, what are they looking at? It's over at the grade school, correct?
Yeah.
In that back area?
Yep.
What are they looking at?
Just kind of a flat concrete or paver pad, with some, a few bushes, a few things, maybe a bench, and then just like, wood chips as far as that, and then maybe some trees to block some of that north wind over there on the playground side. I'd like to start looking at some of those things. That's not the outdoor playground, but that's a thing I'd like to start going.
Are they, I don't know if you know or principal, but are they looking at any sort of grants to help on that at all or not?
I don't think so, but Linda, maybe you can answer that as PTO, or maybe you can answer that. PTO look at grants to help with the classroom.
They've kind of thought about maybe chipping into some of that. And so what we're really looking at is just an open space that you can do a lot of modular things with.
Mhm.
So it's not set, because if you're talking pre-K through fourth grade, if you have a more modular, you can use it for many different things. So we're really looking at flattening the area, getting a nice, smooth area that's accessible to all,
Okay.
and starting there. And then you can kind of do things from that spot.
Okay. The reason I ask is depending on what your education plans were or what you were trying to do with the property, there might be some opportunities. I have some connections to those, like NRCS, South Dakota Soil Health, stuff like that. That I work with pretty routinely. They do a lot of grants. If you want, I can check in and see what options they have. Well, some might pick your brain and see what.
Maybe I could share your contact info with the president and vice president of that.
Sure.
And have
If
that
you get it to
contact.
that board, I can get it to the PTO.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I think anything would be,
Yeah.
they'd look into.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the very least, it's just putting this is what DRHS is doing. Is there anything you guys have available to be able to help them? They've been very receptive to some of the stuff we're doing. So,
Yeah,
why not
great.
check it out? Yeah, they're buying us, we're doing an educational thing up in Aberdeen next year. And then we wanted to do a big garden area around where we're doing this educational event. They said we'll cover all your plant expense for that next 18 months. So there might be other options.
That's awesome. I will, I will send them your information.
Have you looked into any like donations or volunteer work as far as like the flattening or the concrete?
Yeah, I think they have, there's a few of those constraints as far as like our insurance covering who's running some of the heavy equipment. But yeah, they have volunteers. Mr. Haskett's willing to dig 112 holes, I think, himself, so he's ready to go. He's fired up.
They already said the fund.
Yeah, fundraising piece is kind of there. Yeah, they're ready to rock. They want to do something for sure, just to show.
And they
their
did
effort.
use one project already, some kind of volunteer to move the rock away from the building, and so they started on some of that.
That's all, Mr. President.
Okay. Well, the next agenda item is board committee, board comments. Anybody have any comments on
I would say we had our very first home powerlifting meet, and Mrs. Lusbrock did a phenomenal job. She had all of her family there helping, and they're amazing. And she does such a good job with the kids, all different levels. And I heard lots of great comments from the schools that attended. Everybody showed up, even though it was snowing. Silvernail checked in to make sure we were getting things cleared, which was nice. The board popped in and everybody noticed. So
That's great.
just so you guys know, your presence is noted at these events and appreciated. And huge kudos to Mrs. Lusbrock for what she does at these days, because I think it's amazing.
anybody else? Okay, seeing none, our next meeting will be March 10th, 7 o'clock, right here. And with that, we need an executive session.
Don't need one for me.
Okay, seeing none, we just need a motion to adjourn. You got a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All nay. Motion passes. That was Jared that did it.
Jason.
Or Jason.
I gotta make sure I get my name on the minutes. Put the rule overtime on my motions.
52. 7:52, you got.
7:52.
Me too.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, grab some pizza and chocolate chip cookie there, or chicken wing, or, yeah, it's a cookie
It
deal.
doesn't matter. You're fine with
You made
I
it.
haven't lost my. I still don't know.
Yeah.
Not a bad one, just.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
It feels like, it feels like
True.
50.
Normally it's 20.
Well,
I keep 8.
We got, we're
Yeah,
gonna
good.
do like a training.
Right.
And
yeah, and it's Friday and they want.
you know, they want to wait shortly after.
And they're excited to be all the things are great.
I know. I know.
So.
Thank you, thank you.
For the golf course,
Do you drive to
Unfortunately. Actually, you can play. It's right off 229.
All good?
Yeah, our, 72,000 go for one time.
Yeah, exactly.
No.